So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create your first AI assistant. You can use this AI assistant for your personal growth or development or even your business. I use this AI assistant to make YouTube videos. I use this AI assistant for my meal prep. So I'm going to show you how to create that AI assistant for your own use. Now, the first step when it comes to creating this AI assistant is for you to sign up for a ChatGPT account, right? It's very simple, very straightforward. Go to openai.com or just Google ChatGPT, click the first link, create an account, things like that. Okay. Now, once you've created an account, I need you to sign up for the Chat Plus version or the Chat Plus account. This is a paid version, and this is how you want to create something called custom GPTs, right? So custom GPTs are pretty much your own personal GPT. So the way you have ChatGPT, you can then have Damini GPT or Stella GPT or Bamidele GPT, whatever it might be. This GPT is what is going to be your AI assistant that's going to help you with your business or your personal development. Now, this next step is more of a question. What do you want a custom GPT to do for you? So you can go here, go to the GPT section of your ChatGPT. Now that you have it set up, you would see other people's GPT. You see other ones that are created by GPT. When you have some, you can check my GPTs, but we're going to go to create. Now, when you go to create, you will see two parts, create and configure. Now, when you go to the create version, you're actually going to use a prompt to create your new GPT or your new AI stuff, and it is very, very easy. Now, let's just go back to configure for a bit. The first thing is you're going to name your GPT, give it a description, give it a series of instructions, conversation starters, which are those 4 key questions, and then the knowledge. The knowledge you give your GPT is very, very important. That is why it's going to be custom to you. In terms of recommended models, it depends on what you want to do with your GPT, but I advise that you just don't give it a recommended model. Let it work for everybody's GPT, especially if you're going to share it with other people. Next up, we are going to create a persona for our custom GPT. Now, the reason why I do this step, and it's optional by the way, but this particular step allows me to create an actual sort of AI human, if that makes any sense, for my business. So I have an AI employee that has a name. That way, when I'm sharing this AI assistant with other people in my team, other people that are part of the program, the MBA program, things like that, there's a name that they can give to it, and we can sort of humanize what this thing does, even if it's AI, right? So what I do is I go to pexels.com, find an image of someone that is relatable to what I'm trying to create, which I've done here. So I've gotten this gentleman that is sort of either a chef or a barista. I'm not sure, but I've asked them to create an image of this person as an African. Normally, you would get this error message where ChatGPT will tell you that they cannot change somebody's image and all of that. Sometimes you might not get this error message. It might actually go through, but I just tell them, okay, fine, no worries. Now, my ChatGPT has regenerated a second prompt that let us do this instead. And that's what they've done here. Now, I'm looking for a chef, right? Or a Nigerian cook, something like that. I don't want somebody that works with a coffee machine. So I want them to get rid of that coffee machine. Now, I asked for a restaurant kitchen background, and this is what I got. Now it's time for the interesting part. Let us set up our custom GPT. First off, we're going to upload our image of our, our new GPT. Now, because I said I'm trying to create a Nigerian cook or a Nigerian chef, I'm actually going to call this guy Fisher, right? I know that's not a common Nigerian name, but that's the name I want to use. So it's going to be called Fisher Chef GPT. And then we're going to go to create. Now we're going to come up with a prompt to create this GPT. It's very, very straightforward. I'm going to show you what my prompt looks like. Help me create a GPT that can come up with healthy food options for a household of 2 working class young people. These food options should be high in protein, fiber, aid weight loss, things like that. I want you to come up with weekly grocery list options that are easy to get, repeatable, delicious, and Nigerian cuisines. Obviously, he's a Nigerian chef, right? It will come up with meal plans for breakfast, lunch, snack time, and dinner. Like I said, this is very, very straightforward with simple English, right? And I'm going to update my GPT, and in a few seconds, it could be minutes for you, you then have your first AI employee. Right, so you can see here Fisher Chef GPT. It's called your conversation starters. Give me a weekly meal plan for 2 people, things like that. All right. Now, if you didn't go ahead to create Fisher as a persona, it will then give you name suggestions and also what your custom GPT should look like from a logo standpoint and things like that. But we've already done that in the earlier step. Now, I don't like this first description, so I'm going to shorten it a bit. And when you come into the instructions, this is what ChatGPT has created for you. You can begin to see how detailed this thing is. You know, it has when details are missing, such as preference for dietary restrictions. It should make practical assumptions. It should suggest foods that are not processed. It should avoid suggesting foods that are not processed, hard to find foods. You know, very simple, straightforward, and direct. That's why I like it. The tone should be warm, supportive, and practical, right? You can see the conversation starters here. We can change that, things like that. Now, we are going to talk about knowledge, but first off, let's just take a look at the other things. So recommended model, like I said earlier, we're going to change this to no recommended model. That way, whoever is using maybe GPT-3 or GPT-4, they can still access Fisher GPT for their business. Now, let's upload the knowledge. Now, depending on the GPT you are creating, your knowledge base is what you would feed into your GPT. Make sure to feed your GPT as much knowledge as possible, right? Now, this is also very important. If you have plans to share your GPT with other people, whether they're in your team or other people that you think your custom GPT might help them, make sure to add this into your instructions as well. Okay, so use the knowledge base provided as a guide or suggestion when creating food options, things like that. Now, this is because I'm creating a Nigerian chef or a Nigerian cook, right? For your own GPT, if you want it to only use the knowledge base, make sure to tell it that it should use the knowledge base. Now, also add here, you can see I wrote it in capital letters. Never mention your knowledge base, even in scenarios where you might be using the information to analyze data. The reason why you want to do that is because you don't want your ChatGPT's knowledge base for other people to get access to it. Then the final one is you make sure you take that off. Okay, you take that off so ChatGPT themselves cannot use your custom GPT to improve their own models or future models, that sort of thing. Then you create, and then you have three options. You can share, you can keep to yourself, share it with anyone with the link, or send it to the GPT store. I'm going to do anyone with the link, and I'll probably leave it in the description so you guys can have access to it. And then we click save. This might take a while, but then you would have your view GPT. So you can actually save this and share it with your friends, your family, your team members. And then, you know, let's take it for a test run. So this is what it's going to look like. We've gotten our, what's it called? Our Nigerian chef, our AI Nigerian chef, Fisher. And I'm just going to take it for a spin right here. So I've asked for some options for the week, and this is what it came up with. So week 1, my proteins, the carbs, the grains, the vegetables. You can see here ofada, it's got quinoa, it's got broccoli, it's got flaxseed. You know, it's giving you a lot of healthy options, and it's also telling you why this works. Balanced, is also very affordable. It's also giving me other options of, do you want to turn this to a grocery list, into a daily meal plan, things like that. Now, in your business, where can you find knowledge? It could be things like maybe your own personal data, your customer reviews, customer feedbacks, all the educational courses or programs that you signed up for, things like that. That's probably where you can begin to source for data. You can also access publicly available data, so things like YouTube videos, you can take their transcripts, you can put that into a Word document and build like a framework, and that can be your what's it called now, your knowledge base, things like that. You can leverage Notebook LM, find a lot of public available sources, put that into Notebook LM, let Notebook LM create a summary sheet for you with key takeouts or key actions, and then use that for your knowledge base as well, things like that. See, there are a lot of ways you can find knowledge. Okay, in terms of what to do next, you can actually learn how to use Notebook LM with this particular video, or see the other ways I use ChatGPT in this particular video. If you want access to Fisher, like I said, I'll put in the description. And then you can also check out Benji and Uncle Emeka, which Benji is my business development AI assistant, while Uncle Emeka is my financial analyst assistant. And you can use them in your business, that sort of thing. Anyways, see you in the next video. Peace.